This is Patrick at Radicards.com, and in this episode, we're just going to be talking about the museum and kind of how I organize some of the content on it. So, as you know, when you get to the museum, this is essentially like a place where I showcase my Frank Thomas collection in specific year galleries. But there's more to this museum than just my Frank Thomas collection. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. So if you want to view my Frank Thomas collection, just go straight to the home page and you can see it all there. You can click through the different galleries and you can see the different stuff I have per year. It's all organized by brand and by card number, insert set, the whole thing. Just like the same way we'd all organize our collections, or at least a lot of us anyway. But if you go up here to the gallery and hover over it, there's two different pages. There's the Frank Thomas page, which you're viewing, and then there's the medley page, which is just kind of, it's everything else essentially. Some sets I'm building or have built, and then different sports that I collect. I don't really dabble too much in basketball or football, a little bit, but we're going to be talking right now about baseball. So let the baseball gallery load up. There's kind of a lot of content here. So it's organized by decades. Like over the 50s is as far back so far as I go. I will probably extend that as I buy older stuff, but right now it starts at the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. So this is kind of a cool thing. Again, it's organized by brand and then by card number. So I've been building this for a long time. Some of you might remember I talked about this in an older episode some years back. I had the idea first in 2010. I started building it in 2012, and I didn't finish it until 2016. And now it's just upkeep. I do like an annual like big one, and then I do like a couple like biannual ones, like uploads of this stuff. And sometimes I get to about once a month. I just upload whatever came through the pipeline that is museum quality stuff. I've been thinking a lot lately that I wanted to be more selective about what gets on the museum, because I recently did a consolidation of the physical archive, and I moved things into keeping it like a more simple process. I had stuff separated out in all these different categories. I was like, what am I doing? I don't want to think that hard when I want to store stuff. I put file stuff away when I process things as I get stuff into my collection. So I just went with player boxes, teams boxes, and then the sets that I like to build. And I went through the sets boxes and I purged a bunch of stuff for sets I'm never going to build. I'm like, just to put this in teams or player box. And then I reinstated certain player sections, a whole bunch of them. Just want to keep it really simple. Because I work hard in my company, and I want to make sure that processing inventory in my collection is as efficient as possible. So that's what I was doing the last couple of weeks. And then as I was doing that, I started thinking about the museum and how I upload content to it and whatever it is. Essentially, it was everything that I own that's graded, everything that I own that's a one of one, interesting proofs and replacements and things. And so I started looking through the museum, and I started purging things like certain sets I'm never going to build. Why start adding whatever I have? I haven't added progress to that set in a long, long time. Or like weird, obscure, kind of like, what's this? Like a plate from for Javi Lopez. I mean, it's cool. Yeah, it's kind of a fun thing. I've blogged about the plates before, and I use this image. I like it, but that is something that's on there kind of as like, well, it's a one of one, it should go on, but it doesn't really fit that well in the museum family. So I'm going to be pulling a lot of this stuff. It's a great looking run as it stands, but as we get further and further in to the more recent years, you'll see I have one of ones of like random players. Like here's one of Alex Gonzalez. Like it's cool, but it's kind of doesn't really fit. I don't collect Alex Gonzalez. I just think it's cool because it's a one of one. So my rule previously was like any one of one I get. Here's a Scott Hairston. It's kind of a type card. I'm not going to build this set or anything. It's a one of one. It's kind of cool. Doesn't really fit though. So, and here's another one I got at a card show a while back for like $10. I wanted an example of a blue traded. It's cool and I have it in my collection. I'm glad I have it, but it doesn't really fit on the museum. So as it stands, there's just a lot of stuff in here, and then runs. There's like a bunch of cool runs, but I just got to thinking about like what should stay and what can be purged. Here's a bunch of common player superfractors. These are cool, except for Arliss Chapman, of course, is a star. I like that. It's a great card. That'll stay. But like, there's just these other random ones I've acquired, and so I'm trying to like. I love 2010 Bowman Chrome, so I'm just thinking what's the best stuff I can showcase on 2010 Bowman Chrome. So this is how the site looks right now. It's really, there's a lot going on here, and it's kind of just like a hodgepodge of stuff. Like I said, any one of ones I have go onto the site, and they're great cards, but I think they're better suited just straight processed into the archive and left off the museum. And I think the museum really should be reserved for the absolute best stuff. And so I'm going to be going through and changing this. I'm going to keep all the player collections as they are. These don't need to change. This is my Strasburg run, Hayward stuff that I like, Travis Lee stuff I like. It's not my whole collection of Lee, but that's my favorite stuff. And then Jeter stuff. That stuff will be untouched. This remains. But it's everything previous to that. All the decade blocks. I'm going to be going through and purging a lot of this stuff. So we'll see how it goes. I'm happy to showcase it as it is, but I think by doing this, it will allow me to save a lot of time going forward as I buy new items. I'm not going to be stressed out about, oh my gosh, I got 10 new slabbed cards. I got to go through and scan them in and crop them and upload them, etc. So this will help me save a lot of time going forward too. And I think also the user experience when you go through, it's just going to be like great card after great card, no runs. So there you have it. This is the current state of the museum as it stands, and it's about to have a little makeover.
Okay, the museum has been scrubbed. I just spent the last little bit doing that, and so here's what it looks like now. The 90s block hadn't been changed too much. I did take out a few things that just didn't really fit, just miscellaneous stuff that either projects I've retired or cards that I don't feel really fit in the museum anymore. So this has been revised a bit. The biggest changes happened in 2000 and forward. So you'll notice in 2000s I pulled off some stuff here, miscellaneous one of ones that don't really fit in my site. I took off anything that was a replacement, a proof, like a promo kind of thing. Any plates, I took all those off. I took off one of ones of miscellaneous players that I don't know anything about. They're just commons. Any superfractors of those people, they've been pulled. I had specific rules about what rookie cards get added. I put the best ones. Now, if I have a pre-rookie year card and it's a super, that stays, or a one of one, that usually would stay if it's a player I like. And then if they have a rookie year card, I keep the best one that I can, or a couple, like the lowest, serial numbered ones, or the highest grade, lowest serial number, that sort of thing. And then some lesser known players, I would just keep like one card of them on the site. That's a really good card, best print run, good picture, good card. And it might not be autographed, but what I had rules with, like, say as we move forward into 2010 Bowman Chromes, look how much smaller it is. It's just, a couple of rows here. Well, a few rows. It kind of moves into four rows here. But what I did here is I took, like, if I have an orange refractor that's autographed to 25 and I have a red refractor that's not autographed to 5, I would just showcase the 25 orange refractor auto because it has the autograph. And I've never really been a huge, like, autograph pursuer, but I do think that they add a certain quality to the card if I'm comparing it to the non-autographed card. So I just want to keep rules. Another thing too, if I had a superfractor, no autograph, but I had a red refractor to 5 autograph, I would keep the red refractor autograph on the site and dump the superfractor non-autograph just to keep it really tight and clean. And then as I go, what I'll do is, like, if I get a better card, say if I have an orange refractor showcased here of Starlin Castro, and if I get the red refractor of this card, I'll replace this scan with the red refractor. That way I can keep it as tight as possible going forward. Just the best stuff that I have in my collection for 2010 Bowman Chrome. Because as you know, I'm a huge fan of the set. But now I've got a really tight, clean run of cards from this set. And I'm really happy with what I see here. So, a perfect example here is Yasmani Grandal, is that I have this orange refractor auto, but I have the red refractor non-auto of this card number to 5, but I kept this one and purged the to 5. Now I keep all the scans and archive on the back end, So I have them all available. They've been pulled off the site directly, but I keep them stored. So if I want to upload them again, I can, but I probably won't. I might use them for blogging and stuff like that, though. So that's when those things will come in handy. Another thing, too, Schuster, I had the super refractor of this card, no autographs. So I just purged that and I kept the red refractor auto. This guy was a really big stud in high school, and he has a great name. He and I share the same first name, so I wanted to add that. It's a great card. Other things, too, I pulled off were anything that was like more personal to me that's only going to apply to like me liking the cards. I pulled those things off. I had a bunch of D. Gordon type stuff. I have like the no serial number of this card. I took the no serial numbered stuff off of the site. So you just get like the pack issued 1 of 1. Same with this deal here, the Super Fractor. I have the no serial numbered version of this, but I just pulled it off and kept the one that's pack issued on the site. I just think it produces a much cleaner appearance. Now, I will say this. I have this no autograph Super, and then I have the red refractor autograph to 5. So this is kind of one of those situations that's kind of specific to this card that I felt like because I had the one without the serial number, and then I had the one with, that this card would just be a nice one to add. And then this is one of those bigger players, though, to me, like more well-known. I wanted a little bit more representation of him. So this is a specific instance, whereas Schuster is a lesser-known player, so I just kind of keep his best autograph. Yasmani Grandal, I picked up on him, I think, in like 2015-16, right in there. So he was a later knowledge transfer for me. Other guys, too, I kept Trumbo. I have 2 2004 cards, and I kept 2011 on the site, and I have actually 2. I have that, and then I have the Super Fractor 1 of 1. And so I just really wanted to keep it super tight, and I might go through and like do an annual and figure out if there's more things I can pull. But I think this is just a better representation of really nice stuff. I think just the gallery just looks better. So going back here too, I had tons of Super Fractors of miscellaneous players. Those have all been pulled. I just kept the best stuff on here. And then the stuff I just plain like it's not anything beyond that. Like this Bobby Borchering, red refractor to 1. I just like this card. He actually played with Patrick Schuster. They were like kind of coming up at around the same time. I'm not sure if they've kept in touch over the years. I'm not sure if either of these guys even play ball anymore. I know Schuster had a long minor league career. I'm not sure if he's still doing that or not, but kind of a cool thing. So just certain things I just like that they just look good. Like here's Trumbo from 2004. So that along with the Donish Elite card, I just kept those. Now I have like a higher print run version of this, but I kept it off because this is the better version. So that's kind of the rule that I'm having now is upload things that are the best I can get. And if I have something that's not as, like if I have an uploaded orange refractor to 25 and I get the gold will stay off because it's a 50. And if I get a red, it replaces the orange. It's kind of like the new rule I've created for myself. And I honestly think it's going to just be better for the total like production value and user experience when you're on the site viewing things. So I just wanted to talk about that. This is kind of a cool project for me. It's ongoing, but now I have rules set up to what I'm going to put on the site. It's going to prevent a lot of extra work just going forward. And I'll just be like, okay, does this fit? Does it work? Where'd I put it? And, I'm thinking too, like go as far back as like the 90s, like even the late 80s. I sometimes think about some of these random minor league cards. I might pull those off at a later time. I haven't really decided, but right now they're fine on the site. I just want to make sure that the site has the best stuff possible, not just stuff. So there you have it. Have a good time scrolling through this stuff. This is my favorite stuff, and I hope you enjoy looking at some of my collection. It's not all of it. I have much more than this, but this is my favorite stuff that I want to review and look at frequently. Anything non-refractor from 95 Bowman's Best got pulled. I just kept the base, the classics from the refractors. I just thought that was a better approach. But there might be some other odds and ends that I'll pull off of this just in time, just to really tighten it up even more. 99 Bowman's Best, I kept the atomics, but I pulled just the base refractors. And it's just been it's nice to keep it really clean. And I might pull this. It's a tough one. Like, do I pull the chrome gold to 10 and leave the? I might pull this one off and then keep that because this is the rarer card. And if I get the refractor of this, then I'll pull that and replace it with the gold refractor. So anyway, those are kind of the rules that I'm set up for myself to really kind of make the site the best it can be, the best look, the best appearance, just the best overall it can be. And you just kind of learn this stuff as you go, as you're building the site out and you're uploading images and you're collecting and things. It's kind of like the connection between processing your physical archive and processing the digital archive. They kind of work in tandem together. As I said earlier, that I came up with this idea while I was filing and processing stuff into my collection from like eBay and card shows and whatever over the last couple months, because I don't do a like process as it comes in. I wait until I have a few pieces and then I go about it, just kind of make more efficient sense. So there you have it. This is cool. I hope you like this. I hope you like scrolling through this and enjoy it. Thank you for tuning into Radicards TV on radicards.com. I'm your host, Patrick Reno, and until next time, enjoy collecting.
If you like this content, please subscribe. Thank you. Enjoy collecting.